Hello, everyone. We are on lesson 10.1, and we are going to be talking about lines, rays, and angles. The essential question is, how can you identify and draw points, lines, line segments, rays, and angles? I think some of you know some of these words, but maybe you don't know all of them. If you don't know any of them, it's okay. We will learn them today. So again, the things you're going to think about is how can you identify and draw points, line segments, rays, and angles. Let's get started. Unlocking the problem. Everyday things can model geometric figures. For example, the period at the end of a sentence models a point. A solid painted strip in the middle of a straight road models a line. So here's the words that you will need to know. So you might want to remember these for our lesson. The first one is a ray. Ray. A ray is a part of a line that has one endpoint and continues without ending in one direction. So right here, you have one endpoint. It stops right here. And this arrow right here means that it keeps going. So stop here, and then it keeps going. I think of this, if you put your arms out straight, if you put your arms out like you're going to do a jumping jack, but put them out from your shoulders, clench your one fist, and keep your hand on the other one straight, that's a ray. I can show you in class if you don't know how to do it. But you clench your one fist and make your hand straight. Now you have a ray. To read this ray right here, you're going to read it ray, FG. And then how you write it is you have a line with an arrow at the end, and it says FG. There's an example of it right here. Let's go to the next one. A point. Here is where they were talking about, for an example, a period. A point is an exact location in space. A point right there. That's all you do, just a point. And you read it, point A. So this is point A. Has the A and it has the point. And you write it, point A. Let's see what the next one is. So far we have a ray and a point. This one is a line. A line is a straight path of points that continues without end in. So it doesn't end at all. This just keeps going. And this side keeps going. So here you have, they do put the points on there, but then they have the arrow. And they put a point over here, and then they have the arrow as well. So this is a line because it keeps going. It doesn't stop in either direction. And you can read this one as line BC or line CB because it doesn't really matter. It never stops. So you read it. You can read this one either way. And over here, how you would write it is you would put the arrows on both sides, right here and right here, an arrow. And you would write BC or CB. You can do that one either way. So far we've learned a line, a ray, and a point. And for this one, how I remember it is I put my hands out in both directions again, and I just make my arms straight, and I think my hands would keep going. As if they couldn't stop, they would just keep going forever. All right, next one, the last one we need to learn is a line segment. A line segment is part of a line between two endpoints. So it's just the piece, they just took out part of the line. It stops here and it stops here. It's just that part of that line, not the whole thing. It's just a segment, piece of that line. Line segment is how you read it would be line segment DE, line segment ED. It doesn't matter because you could do it either way. And then you just do a straight line, DE or ED. Okay? And then there's some line segments right there. All right. Let's review again. So we have our ray. Remember, it has one stopping point, and then it has the arrow that keeps on going, and you read it FG. You only read this one. If you've noticed, some of them you can read two different ways, but this one you start with that ending point right here, and then you say the G. Again, right here it's FG, and it has this ending point to the arrow. Next one was a point. Point A, you just label it. Read it point A, and you write it point A. The next one is a line. The line keeps going in both directions forever. That is what the arrow means. It just keeps going without an end in. It has no end. Then and this one you can read it and write it both ways. So that's why it says BC or CB. And you put arrows on both sides. And then the final one is the line segment, which is just that piece of that line. And you can read this one either way, and you can write it either way. And you write it just with a straight line on top. All right? Let's look now. Here's an activity. It says draw and label. What was that? Do you remember? Has just a line on top. Let's go back and look. The one with just a line on top. Right there. Just the line. So that must be a line segment. Look how you draw it right here. A line segment. So I'm going to go put my dot, make my straight line as straight as I can make it, put another dot, and then I have to label it JK. JK. Perfect. And it's done. All right, let's go on to the next one. For the next one, we have to learn some more vocabulary. We're going to learn about angles. An angle is formed by two rays or line segments that have the same endpoint. The shared endpoint is called the vertices. I always remember that. Vertices has that V in it, and it kind of looks like a V right here. V vertices. So they're talking about that point right there. So for this one, this is an angle, and it is called angle PQR, or you can do it the other way. You can say RQP, or you can just say angle Q, like that. You can write it PQR, angle RQP, or angle Q. So this little sign right here means angle. So you can name it 3 different ways. So that is an angle. And angles come in all different sizes. And I think some of you have probably heard some of these before. So you have a right angle, which has a perfect corner right there, 90 degrees, perfect. So it's straight this way and it's straight that way, and it forms that perfect 90 degrees. And they put that little box there to tell you that is 90 degrees. Then you have a straight angle, which is just a line. Has no going up or no going down. It is just straight across. Then you have an acute angle. This an acute angle is less than a right angle. So this was a right going up like this and over. This one's smaller. Notice how it is smaller right here. So that is an acute. I think of it like a baby, like an acute angle. Oh, isn't it cute? So it's called an acute. So cute. All right, it's just a baby angle, just a little angle, less than 90 degrees. then an obtuse angle is greater than a right angle and less than a straight angle. So here was your straight and here was your right. So this one's going to fall somewhere in between here. And as you see, this one falls right in between there. Here was our right. It kind of goes up like that. Our straight goes over here. So an obtuse angle is somewhere in the middle of that. I always think of it as obtuse. Like it's so big. It's obtuse. It's huge. A big angle. All right. So those were our 4 different types. We have the right. We have the straight, acute, and obtuse. All right. So those were our different ones. Let's put those away and let's see if we can figure out what some of these angles are. All right. So here they say you can take a piece of paper and fold it and put it here. So here was our 90 degrees. Is this 90 degrees, which would be straight off that piece of paper? Is this smaller than that? Or is it larger? What do you think? If you said obtuse, you are right. Nice job. Should have made that a little bit bigger. Let me see if I can change it. All right, let's do the next one. So here is the next angle. So this one was really big. It was over that 90 degrees. What about this one? Is that smaller than the 90 degrees? Is it bigger than the 90 degrees? What do you think? Did you say acute? Because it's such an acute angle. It's so little. Love it. All right, so we have an obtuse, we have an acute. What do you think about this one right here, this third angle? This one is a little tricky. You might want to get that paper out and really look, because if you check it, you would see it's not exactly square. It is a little bit smaller, so it would be an acute angle. It looks very close to being straight, and it looks very close to being right, but if you get that paper, you would notice that it's not. All right, and our last but not least angle is the, what do you think? Did you say a right angle? Right angle, nice job. So that one would have, you could put a line there. This one would be, whoops, let me try to do that again. There you go. So those are the angles you are measuring. You have your obtuse, that's big. You have your acute angle, that's smaller. Another acute angle. And you have your right angle. All right, let's try another one. All right, for this one, it says, what, do you remember what this means right here? What is that called? AB is that a point? Is it a line? Is it a line segment, or is it a ray? Do you remember? If you said line segment, you are correct. Nice job. So that one is a line segment. Remember, this right here is just a piece of that line, a line segment. And then you need to draw it. So let's draw it right here. So remember, a line segment has just a piece of that line. So I'm going to go like, try to make it straight. Shh. My straight lines are not very good, sorry. All right. Hopefully yours looks better than mine. And I have to, one more step, I have to label it. I can do A, B, or I could do B, A. Either way. All right. Now we're going on here. Draw and label an example of the figure. So this one, do you remember what this is called right here? With the 2 arrows? That was called a line. Remember, it says draw and label. So that's what yours should look like. Now we're going to do, let's go back to this one, I'm sorry. So you have your arrows, both arrows on both sides, and it says X, Y, and 2 points right there. All right, now we're going to go to our obtuse K. So K is going to be in the center, and it's going to be obtuse, which remember, if you say the word obtuse, you remember it is really big. So let's scoochy it over. Bigger than 90, right? All right, last but certainly not least was our right angle, and we're going to label it C, D, E. And the only thing about this one is that D needs to be in the center. Let's look and see if you can do it. Try it first. C, D, E. Does yours look like that? All right, perfect if it does. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Nice job.